Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over Iron Boulder and kind of like a mismatch, maybe kind of sorta future box. It's not really, we have a definite plan in mind, but this is more or less kind of a future box-ish. But I actually thought this was going to be pretty decent, so let's go ahead and get into it. First off, right off the rip, we have Iron Boulder, not EX, just baby Iron Boulder, with its adjusted horn attack. For Psychic and Colorless, it does 170, but if you don't have the same number of cards as your opponent in your hand, this attack does nothing. And that can be a bummer, that can be an issue, but we've got a lot of cards in the format right now that actually do help us get there, and we can usually play down our hand to make it a little easier on us. So that's what the main attacker is going to be. How do we do more than just 170? Because that's really not enough damage. Well, we do have the Iron Crown EX with its Cobalt Command ability. Attacks of your future Pokemon, except for Iron Crown, do 20 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. And this is going to be really great. We have 2 down, that's already 210. Now we're smashing the Ogerpons, all of them, because Iron Boulder does not have an ability, so even Cornerstone
definitely didn't say that stuff right.
So Cornerstone doesn't block us, so we're pretty happy with that. It does have an attack. We're not going to use it. I'm not even going to go over it. Next, we have the Miraidon with its Peak Acceleration attack. This is what we're going to be using. Hopefully we're going to be using this early game. I could even see going to a 3 count, but Peak Acceleration for a colorless energy does 40. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy and attach them to your future Pokemon in any way you like. This is really good. Just right off the rip. We can put this up front, hopefully have like 2 Iron Crowns down. Now we're doing 80 damage. 80 damage is going to get most of your little basic Pokemon like Charmander. It's going to get stuff like your Pidgeys. It's going to get all of that if we can get just 2 Iron Crowns down, or potentially even a future booster energy. But if we can get a bunch of stuff down, we could be doing 100, 120, and then we're hitting some of the bigger basic Pokemon. We are running the Iron Jugulis. I think it's pretty decent in this. It's not anything that we need, but it can spread a little bit of damage. Homing Headbutt for colorless. This attack does 50 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon that have any damage counters on them. So say we don't knock out something, say we're close to knocking out a Charizard EX or a Pidgeot EX or a Regidrago V. This could be the thing that allows us to spread a little bit of damage and then bring up something that they don't want inactive and then just pepper their bench and get rid of a couple things that they kind of wanted. We are running the Iron Leaves EX for the very specific Charizard matchup with its Rapid Veneer ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may switch it with your active. When you do this, you can move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to this Pokemon, meaning all energy across all Pokemon can be moved to Iron Leaves. Its attack for Grass, and colorless. Prism Edge does 180, but you can't use the attack next turn. That's actually kind of okay at this point. The reason is because 180 times 2 is 360, and Charizard does not like those numbers. I am running the Dusclops line. It's not there for the KOs. It's not there for the getting things knocked out and taking prize cards before we attack. It's actually there to help put damage down. Maybe, again, Charizard is a little unhealthy, maybe Pidgeot's unhealthy, whatever the case may be. Throw this extra 5 down, attack with Iron Jugulis, and we're winning. But to help Iron Jugulis as a little bit of wombo combo, we are running the Radiant Alakazam with its Painful Spoons ability. During your turn, you can move 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to the other one of your opponent's Pokemon. It can be any of them, it doesn't matter. We are running the Fezandipiti with its Flip the Script ability. If one of your Pokemon were knocked out on your opponent's turn, go ahead and draw 3 cards. You can't use more than one Flip the Script. That's okay, we're not going to worry about it. This is actually a pretty decent one because Iron Boulder is going to probably get knocked out. It is a pretty easy Pokemon to knock out. Luckily, it is a 1 prize, but being able to grab 3 cards off of that, always helpful. And lastly, we do have Squawkabilly EX with its Squawk and Seize ability. On your first turn, ditch your hand, draw 6. Nothing fancy, but it will help draw. Supporters, I think, are kind of important in this deck. We're running Zisu, Judge, Boss's Order, and...
Well, we're waiting.
Zisu, if you're not familiar, Zisu says draw until you have 1 more card in hand than your opponent. Again, we can always play down. Judge says both players shuffle their hand and draw 4. Boss's Order, bring up one of the bench Pokemon to the active on your opponent's side. And Arven says go look for a tool and an item card and put them in your hand. We are running a lot of those Pokemon catchers, and the reason we're doing that is because we want to be able to pull up those 210 attackers, those 210 2-prize Pokemon, or those 2-prize Pokemon that are even smaller than that, bring those up and win the game. 2 done. How do we get our future Pokemon out? Well, we use Techno Radar. Techno Radar says you have to ditch a card in order to play this. Go search your deck for up to 2 future Pokemon. Other than that, we're running pretty like you would probably assume. We're running a pretty easy standard lineup of things. We are running the Hand Trimmer. Hand Trimmer says both players discard cards from their hand until they have 5 remaining, but your opponent does discard first, which is always pretty nice. You can kind of see what they had and maybe see why they're getting rid of those, maybe not, if you're one of those higher level players that understands what the opponent might be playing and what cards they might want to keep. But this allows us to then definitely get another chance at swinging with Iron Boulder. We are running the Unfair Stamp. Unfair Stamp is super important in this because we're going to get knocked out. We want to do a little bit of hand disruption. That's kind of what Judge is there for as well. But Unfair Stamp, you can only use this if one of your Pokemon were knocked out last turn. Each player shuffles their hand. Your opponent draws 2, and you draw 5. This is hand disruption. It's always good. Yes, you very easily could throw in something like a Roxanne, but later in those games, Roxanne can make it harder because you might not be able to play down a hand of 6 to 2. We are running the Future Booster Energy. It says the future Pokemon this is attached to gets 20 more damage and has free retreat. That's the deck list. I think it's going to be fun. Let's go ahead and get into it and see how we do. Okay, so with this deck, we kind of want to go second. Actually, we absolutely want to go second. We want to be able to get a Miraidon up and running. Okay, so this is not where we wanted to be. But normally, we want to go second. We want to be able to get Miraidon up and running. We want to be able to... Okay, I don't mind throwing Iron Jugulis down here. That's fine with me. Okay, a Roaring Moon. Okay. Let's see. I want Iron Crown here. I do want the Fezandipiti. I do want the Squawkabilly. Iron Leaves we can always get back, so I'm not worried about that. And I don't mind throwing the Hand Trimmer down. I'm going to force them to get rid of a card they might want. See? So that we potentially could be getting rid of something that gets 2 Darkness Energy into their discard. Let's go ahead and Squawk and Seize here. We don't need much of that anyway. See, I'm going to do a Nest Ball here. I want to do a Nest Ball for a Miraidon here. I will be attaching the Energy Future Booster here. And let's see, what else can we do? We could get both of those. Okay. I don't mind the Super Rod here. Iron Leaves is also going to be really good in this matchup, although we could potentially be hitting with Iron Boulder for bigger and better. I don't mind throwing this down here, Town Store. take another future booster just to have it in hand, and we will end our turn. Okay, gets the Earthen Vessel, attaches for turn. Baby Roaring Moon down, Ancient Booster. Okay, so now it's definitely a good thing that we were able to get that Iron Leaves back into our deck. Sada's Vitality goes away. Okay, no big deal. Another Roaring Moon down, and potentially a pass. Another Town Store, Ancient Booster, that's fine, we're not going to worry about it. And a pass of the turn. Okay, we're okay with this. A Pokemon Catcher here. I'm going to throw an Ancient, or a Future Booster, just for the retreat here. And then I would like to potentially... I do not hit it. I was going to say, hopefully we can get that other one up here. But what we'll do is, why not go and get another future booster, put it in our hand, and we can just go ahead and peak acceleration. It is 80 damage. We're okay with that. We're going to be able to move some things around. Okay, attaches for turn. Explorer's Guidance. Okay. He currently has... Okay, Techno Radar. Techno Radar, we can definitely do this. We'll go ahead and put that out of here. Let's go ahead and get the Iron Leaves. No. Iron Boulder and Iron Leaves. I like that idea. Iron Boulder down. We can go ahead and attach that to the Iron Boulder. And let's see. Let's get ourselves another Techno Radar. Get that in our hand. I think that's fine. And then we'll go ahead and just ping it for another 80. He puts another Baby Moon down. It has no energy in discard, so that's important to note. Explorer's Guidance. Switch cart. Okay. If he were to be using a Baby Moon... If he uses Baby Moon, that's 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So that's good to note. Ancient Booster down. And potentially passing of the turn. Okay, and passes turn. We have a Zisu. I don't mind throwing this here. Retreating into an Iron Boulder. And we can go ahead and swing for 210 and the knockout. Just in case you were wondering, yes, I did move the camera so that you guys could see what happens when I pull up their discard, or I pull up my discard, or anything like that. It comes on this screen. I've had a couple people mention it, so I wanted to move it. Okay, another Explorer's Guidance. Probably looking for some more dark patches would be my guess. Attaches to that Roaring Moon, no big deal. We got the Pokemon Catcher here. This is important. Pokemon Catcher, let's see if we can't get some stuff moving along. Okay, we do have something. I would like to bring up... you know what? Let's go ahead and bring up... Let's bring up the other Roaring Moon. We'll go ahead and retreat here. We can attach to Iron Crown. Zisu. We're just going to draw one more. Don't know if I like that. That's okay. Town Store, we've got all 4 of ours out, so we're just looking through our deck at this point. Okay. We do have an Unfair Stamp. That's something to note. We don't have any other energy. We have, what, 1 Night Stretcher, and... okay. Just take a quick inventory, nothing special. We'll go ahead and peak acceleration, put a little bit of damage down, and we'll be happy. No, we will hold off on energy. Okay, adds another energy to it. So we could okay, brings up the boss's order. I would guess brings up Fez. No, brings up the Iron Boulder. Okay. Calamity Storm. Gets rid of the Town Store. We're not going to worry about it. That's fine. And we'll go ahead and bring up the Iron Crown because it has free retreat. Okay, counter catcher here. I do like the idea of flip the script. Okay, we did not get... Okay, so what we can do here... I don't mind an Ultra Ball. We can get rid of this Miraidon, and we can get rid of this counter catcher. What I'd like to do is get an Iron Boulder ready. Iron Boulder here, basic energy, retreat into Miraidon. Why not? Use a Zisu. Okay, we've got boss's order for next turn. We'll go ahead and peak acceleration. I don't mind getting this down. We can move this to... yeah, we'll move it. Probably should have moved it to the Iron Jugulis, but I think we're okay. Okay, with this, I'm guessing... Okay, so 1 and 1. That's no big deal. Draws 3. Okay, you can't see their current count, but they are at 20. Okay, they'll be at 5 after this attack. Calamity Storm takes a knockout. Oh, only does the... Okay. Kind of keeps them in the loop there. Should be okay. Let's see. Jet Energy. Yeah, why not? We'll throw a Jet Energy here onto the Iron Jugulis. And I don't mind hitting for 190, taking that knockout. Get another 2. Judge and Earthen Vessel. Judge is going to help us do quite a bit. There's Sada. Sada's going to throw it down onto the Roaring Moon, and there. Okay. A Brute Bonnet makes sense. And Trekking Shoes. Trekking Shoes to get what? Well, okay. Ditches the Roaring Moon. That makes sense. I don't know that he wants to knock out, although knocking out here would be a good idea. But if he does knock out, we'll just we'll promote, put Iron Boulder up there, Judge, knockout. That's if he uses Frenzied Gouging, I should say. A Pokestop. Now he'll be using the Calamity Storm. Dark Patch onto one of these other Roaring Moons. Calamity Storm. Will he get rid of it? Probably. We're kind of okay with that. He's only been taking 1 prizers, so we're not really worried about too much here. And of course, we always bring up Miraidon here. Okay, we've got another Techno Radar. I think that's fine. Earthen Vessel to get rid of a Dusclops here. Okay, what do we got? We do still have the Unfair Stamp, so that's something we could be doing. Why not? Flip the script here. Okay, we've got the Duskull. As far as energy goes, what do we have? We run 6, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, all of our energy. We have no energy in deck, so that's something good to know. I don't mind the Duskull here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll hold this. Let's go ahead and Boss's Order up this Brute Bonnet, and we can go ahead and peak acceleration. We do still have that Unfair Stamp, and we do have a Night Stretcher, so we could very easily go get that Dusclops. Attaches an energy to Baby Moon. Nest Ball for Deck Search. No, for Squawk. Ooh. thank you for that, I think. Calamity Storm does get the knockout. That's actually okay. We're not worried too much about it. We'll go ahead and Iron Crown. Iron Crown, because it has free retreat. We have the Earthen Vessel. No big deal. Let's go ahead and flip the script here. See what we get. We do have... Okay, he has 2 cards. We have to be able to play down to 2 cards if we do the boss's order. But we have to be smart about this. Let's... Okay, we'll do an Iron Crown. We should have Nest Balled first. No, there's no way to do it. There was a way to do it. Okay, now we judge. Okay, we do get the boss's order back, so that's good to know. But we can't... if we do that, we're hitting for 170. We're only hitting for 210. I think at this point we just go ahead and retreat, and I think we retreat into the Duskull, and we end our turn. We had it last turn if I had just done it, and I did not done my sequencing right. Probably looking for another boss at this point. I think they normally run 2 boss. Normally they run 2 boss, so we'll see what happens here. 2 boss. Looking through his whole deck, he had 1 more energy. Energy down onto the other baby. What we're looking to do is... Okay. We can do this. We can do this. Iron Crown up. Okay, he has 4. We need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will boss's order up the Squawkabilly. That makes 4. We will retreat into the Iron Boulder, and we will take the knockout and the win. There's another Night Stretcher and our last Iron Crown. And there you have it. Iron Boulder with kind of the future box Iron Boulder main attacker, whatever we want to call it. I'm going to call it Iron Boulder. I like this deck. It's something that I kind of put together just on a whim. I really like the attack of Iron Boulder. I like the idea of it being something that can it thrives on... I like the idea of a deck and an attacker that thrive on just hand disruption and constantly changing their hand or constantly manipulating their hand. This is all something that I really like. I really enjoy about this deck. Would I take this to a cup or a challenge? Probably not. That's why it's on Fun Deck Friday. Probably not. I probably would not. If I did, I would want to see another Miraidon. I would want to see maybe a Roxanne. I would like to see maybe a Xerosic, things like that, of that nature. I'd like to see. I do like the idea of this being something that we can always move the hand and move a Pokemon to the active and just knock it out. I mean, obviously you saw in the video we weren't doing that a ton, but it is something that we can do with this deck, and I do like that. Would I take this to a regional? Absolutely not. Unless you're playing inside events and you're just there to have fun, don't bring this to a regional, please. You want to win, you want to do well, don't bring this deck. That being said, again, what would I change? I'd like to see a little bit more hand disruption, maybe a Xerosic, maybe lean into the idea of being able to pull up different Pokemon with as much gusting as we have. You could probably go down to 1 boss. I know my rule is 2, but we do have a lot of gusting in this deck. I mean, 1 counter, 1 boss, 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon catchers. We could very easily move around and mess with their hand a little bit better with, say, a Roxanne, or even, messing around with it and doing a Xerosic. So that's my thoughts. If you have thoughts, leave them in the comment section down below. I appreciate you guys talking to me. You guys have been commenting a lot more lately, and I really appreciate it. I like seeing everybody talk. I try to respond to everybody. I think I've done so yay, let's keep it up. If you would, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that help me continue to build this and come up with weird thoughts off the top of my head and see what I like and see what I don't like. And with that, have fun, stay safe, I love you.